Thank you very much, people, and good afternoon. My name is Daniel, and I'm here to speak on behalf of Grapheel Limited, which is a social enterprise. This was a total surprise, so I'm going freestyle, so I hope you'll enjoy it. But when I was 16, I did two things. One, I was passionately enjoying studying about mathematics and physics. Yeah, I was one of those guys. And the other thing I did, I lost my sight. Don't do it. I don't recommend it to anybody. And yeah, it's a bit of an inconvenience, especially when you're in the last year of your high school and you want to decide what to study at university. And you know, your passion is sciencey subjects, but then your teachers go like, well, yeah, but how will you deal with scientific diagrams and equations? But then after all, after some, arguments, I decided that I'll try it, we'll see how it goes. Now, why it's a problem? Because it's not only me, but another 25,000 students under the age of 16 who struggle with visual impairment. And if they want to study sciences, accessibility is a big issue. So, what we have done with Grapheel, my friends back at university, is that we put together an application which is going online, where we basically connect visually impaired students who need support with a pool of volunteers, a community of scientifically minded experts who don't mind spending a few minutes a day to describe diagrams that they might receive from somebody who needs help. So think about it, about Grapheel Iris, as we call it, as a messenger application between somebody like me in Brighton, who needs assistance with a diagram, with somebody sitting in Portsmouth who can actually describe this diagram remotely. So that's good, and we are aiming to offer this solution for free for people who need it, hence the social enterprise part of our business. But then, yes, where do you get the money from to sustain your business? Well, the idea is to use this first stage of the project to use the data and train the fashionable, guess what, machine learning, to basically make the process of describing diagrams very automatic and very instantaneous. So this way, we would like to encourage stakeholders like publishers and libraries, journals, to make their content much more accessible, which is anyway going to be a legal requirement by 2020. So hopefully, we can both, with the same product, with a human-to-human interface, help people for free, but also we can encourage publishers and such to do large-scale accessibility, and hopefully we can license our product to them as well. So I think that's it from me. If you have any questions, I'm happy to receive them.
Round of applause, please, guys. We're going to ask some questions. I'm going to come next to you. If you stay there, I'm just going to turn the mic back.
All right.
Okay, my first question is about, so are there other organisations trying to do this?
The exact same thing that we are doing, I'm not aware of any of them. So there are two things that I should mention. One is called Citizen Science, where amateur scientists can help researchers to describe scientific diagrams or photographs, even of experiments. But that's not what we are doing. And there are communities such as Be My Eyes, which is quite famous, so you might have heard of, where people can video call sighted people to ask for help with choosing the right color of the shirt or checking expiry dates. But we are basically, they wouldn't be necessarily qualified to describe some hyperbolic tangent function.
Okay.
So we kind of combine the two communities into a new community, a specialized community.
Okay, and my next question, sorry I'm hogging it, but I'm interested in this.
That's right.
Is if regulation means that every single piece of content needs to be accessible,
Yep.
I know you say it's a social idea, but
Yep.
isn't that a fairly big investment for them to do? Will
Yeah.
you provide that for them? Is this worth investing in because we'll make money out of, or is it just going to make us feel better about ourselves for doing something good?
No, absolutely. I think for the, let's say, publishers who are legally required, it's both. They can feel good about themselves, and hopefully there'll be some competition as well to see who is the first one to do it. But also it's commercially good for them, because of course, if I know that a journal is more accessible than the other, then I will go for them.
Yeah, sure. So questions from the audience, guys. An interesting subject. accessing material. There's tons of material. There's an explosion of material on the internet. But how accessible is that?
Yeah.
And how can a business proposition provide that access? Does anyone else have a question? No? Yes, good man.
Isn't this a global thing? Isn't it, you know, because science is universal? Are there movements in other parts of the world to do to benefit them as well?
Yes, absolutely, very good question, and we do absolutely want to make it international, global. So the only thing you need for the iris to work is basically internet access and a worldwide community. At the moment, we purely for logistical reasons we limit it to English-speaking countries, but we also had volunteers from US, Canada, Australia. But there is absolutely no reason why we couldn't, just go into any other country. All it takes is a local community, so they can provide, like a language-specific description for the students or whoever needs them, and of course a translation of the interface. But that's fairly easy to do. So yeah, there is no reason why we couldn't go global.
Fairly easy to do that last bit. Yeah, sure. Okay, great. Any other questions, guys, in the audience? Okay, then I'm going to ask you the question. In or out?
By the way, my favorite color is green, so
They've all put red, everyone's put red up. No, they haven't. In or out? Don't be soppy. If you don't like the idea, put red up. But we got one red. That is a good pitch. Thank you very much. A round of applause, please, guys.
Thank you.